For this demonstration of the EasyArt line drawing routine, I'm using a standard RGB image taken with a camera, and the image is on a single layer. As you can see in the layers list, only one layer. When you're using the line drawing routine, make sure your images are only on one layer. Now this is a reasonably good quality image. It's at the print size that I'm going to print it onto the t-shirt, and it's about 300 pixels per inch, which is about the size quality you want to be using. Now the first thing we have to do to start this routine is we have to tell EasyArt which part of the design we want to keep in and which part we want out. In this case we only want the car and we want to remove the background. So the first thing to do is to make a mask. So I'm going to zoom into the image so we can see what I'm doing. I'm going to click on over in the EasyArt buttons here, I'm going to click on the Make a Mask button. Draw around the edge of the part of the image you want to mask. The mask includes only those areas you want to appear in the drawing. I'm going to use the pen tool to trace around the outside edge. So I'm going to very quickly trace around the outside edge of the car. Now how much time and effort you spend on this is entirely up to you, of course, but the more time and effort you spend, the better the result. But I'm going to do it relatively quickly to speed things up a bit. So just carry on and trace all the way around the outside edge of the car and finish up at the same point where you started to close the path. Now fill that path with 100% black. Make sure your opacity is set to 100%. Feather radius is 0, very important, and anti-aliased is unchecked, also very important. Now that mask is going to show up as pink. I'll just zoom out so you can have a look. Pink is the default color for EasyArt. Now I'm going to delete the path, not the mask, just the path around the outside. You don't need that. Now also very important is to click on the Make Masker button to finish the routine. You'll see it showing up as red, so it's very important that you click it again before you finish. Now if you go to the channels list, you'll see that mask that I just created is there. Very simple, and you want to keep nice clean sharp edges on your masks. Now I can go ahead and use the EasyArt routine convert to line drawing, and that'll give us a reasonably good result. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that now. So routine complete. But you can see it, as I said before, EasyArt is the line drawing routine is a very high contrast routine, and it has actually stripped out quite a bit of the detail. Now you can print the film out from there and get your pen out and manually draw the detail on your film, or you can add the extra details which are missing, which is part of the door here. You can see a bit of the wheel cover here is missing. Maybe that little wing mirror there could be added a bit of detail to. Yeah, as I said, you can print it draw directly onto the film, or draw it straight into Photoshop. But we have another technique which you can also use, which is quite a good way of adding detail before you even start the routine. So if I just go back to the point where we just created the mask before we ran the routine, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some extra details directly onto the image, just in black. So I'm going to select the pen tool. First thing you do is make sure, because we're going to use the brush tool to draw in the details, make sure your brush tool is set to a size that you're going to want to be using. That looks pretty good. Maybe I'll just remove that. Maybe we'll knock it up to 5 pixels. Yep, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to use the pen tool to add some detail back into the image. Let's try around the wheel hub there. Once again, how much time and effort you want to spend on this is usually determined by the budget. How much is the customer spending? Now right click with your mouse button, stroke path, make sure you have brush selected because I've already set the size of the brush. Make sure the color you have is black, color you have selected is black, and I'm going to click OK. And then we'll delete that path. Basically I've just added a black line which is probably going to be eliminated by the EasyArt routine. I think I might do this one as well. So again, stroke path, delete path. Probably this door here could do with a bit of attention. And just basically go around the car and add in those little extra bits that you think may have got lost. So it's always a good idea to try the routine first without doing any of this. And then analyze your line drawn image and then come back and add your details in after. Run the routine again. Up to you. So I've spent about another 5 minutes in all, adding a few more details. Up to you whether you want to do that or not. So now I come back to the EasyArt action buttons and click on the convert to line drawing routine again. So EasyArt is going to carry on to exactly the same routine as before, but now that I've added a few more details, we're going to get a slightly better result. And there it is, that's the EasyArt line drawing routine. Now I can't stress enough how important it is to have a good quality image to start off with. Your result is only ever going to be as good as the image that you start with.